Every Mal0 mesh has been UV unwrapped, so let's get texturing. I have rendered things in the past, so it's not like I'm completely new to this, but I'm not at a point where I can feel confident rendering unique details for a 3D character. In other words, I'm dogshit when it comes to drawing 2D textures, but regardless, I went in and gave it a shot. To make it easy for myself, I got this basic brush pack from Craft Reaper and I started using those to paint the details onto Mal0. By the way, I'm using Yuka Paint. It's a texture painting add-on for Blender. This mouth flesh part is starting to look weird. I barely looked at any references going into this. I just looked at one picture of a thong and I said, good enough. Despite those hurdles, I still had fun getting to draw with those brushes I got. They were neat. The same deal was with the propeller hat, the candy, and the goth emo outfit. But for the sweater and jumpsuit, I went with the more procedural route. I'm gonna keep this short. For the jumpsuit, I just added like a wave texture layers and oriented them according to their arms, body, and legs. Here's where I got the inspiration from. And here's the tutorial I used for the sweater. Before I baked these materials, I also wanted to work on those action constraints. It makes animating face expressions more fun. As usual, I used Miracle Butt's rigs for reference, which gave them additional controls for pupils, eyelids, lip syncs, and some quick expressions. Shout out to the breathing inhaling constraints. I didn't implement it here, but this made me realize how you can get those natural idle animations. That is so cool.
Dude, explain the shape keys before you get into action constraints. No, the shape keys of a head control the people cells, the people hearts, and the nostril hearts. Then I added drivers to connect them to the generator rig.
The usual workflows for developing action constraints isn't too bad, honestly. The workflow for adding them with Rigify is through this little tab inside the skeleton properties of the meta rig. The meta rig is the skeleton used to generate the animation ready rig. Think of it like the instruction booklet to bake a cake. Anyways, to add them on here, all you need is the animation and the action bone, along with changing these properties to modify the influence of the animation from the control bone. By the way, this section only appears when you are in pose mode. Not in edit mode, pose mode. That took me a while. That's pretty much it. I baked all the materials, exported textures to a different directory, and cleaned off the unused data to decrease the total blend size. Make sure you tell Blender that all links should be relative instead of absolute so that you don't accidentally show the world your directory names. After 6 months of on and off work, I finally finished this cute rendition of my favorite conflict character. Right next to Dog Day, of course. It's not perfect, especially in regards of the rig and texturing, but I think it's enough to be animation ready, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. Thank you for watching these progress reports with me. I'll see you on the release date very soon.